YouTube, what is up? It is time for America's Pickems. People have been asking me in the chat and the streams when American Pickems now, American Pickems. This one's a little bit hard just because there's three teams that I'm really confident are going to be the final three. In before I'm wrong, obviously. But picking the actual top two out of the three, I think is very, very hard. I would want to say that people are split across the board. Before we get into it, quick ad read from myself and Minnie, of course, as we've teamed up together for Coach Potatoes. Sorry if you've seen this one before, just speed it up. Coach Potatoes. 2 ex-coaches making playbooks for your team or premier team. We show you how the best teams approach maps and even give you POV links to copy the strat yourself. As head coaches, we have attended 11 international events, came top 4 in over 70% of them, including a combined 2 Masters wins. We have old strats, new strats, and some really over-the-top strats that even some tier 2 teams have decided to try out. Also, unique lineups made by us, the pro teams Heretics and Gen G used in their 2024 run. We have recently added Pearl, showcasing some nice stuff you might see in tier 1 this year, and we made our Ascent and Sunset playbook for free, so you can go check that out on Patreon now. Also, just released How to EG Play Fracture. Go check it out if you want to for $10 a month at Patreon/CoachPotatoes. So go check that out now. It is free. We're also doing this duo guide where we use Deadlock, Gravnet into the damage of Teo. It's super strong. It's only on bind, but it's worth checking out if you want a lot of free kills. And what are we doing next? We are doing bind. Minnie loves bind. I said you can pick split or bind for Teo. This guy loves bind, so we're doing bind next as our comp. And then we'll probably steal some team that looks good in kickoff and then do one of their comps for one of our next ones. Okay, let's get into this. We have Evil Geniuses against Loud. I'm relatively confident that Evil Geniuses will come out pretty strong. I think historically that Potter is very good at coming up with new stuff that is strong and makes sense. We've seen some Deadlock usage on Icebox. It wasn't too bad. We've seen that old Fracture. That wasn't too bad. And I think with the way that the meta is at the moment with Teo coming in and honestly Deadlock being pretty strong, Teo being pretty strong, Vice is kind of looking all right as well. I can see them coming up with some good stuff that is going to be strong on certain maps. So I just have faith that EG suit new metas better than Loud. And I'll be honest, I think their team's a bit better. Do I think their team's a bit better? I said that, but now I'm not super confident with it. They got Yay. I'm going to back Yay with this one. I'm not actually sure, player by player, if EG has the better team. Now I've said that, but Yay is, I believe in Yay. And I strongly think that this is where it's going to go with EG. They're going to try and not play much Chamber, but they're going to play Chamber on Lotus. This is what I have as a theory. And then they're going to slowly implement that to, 3 other maps. Because I think you can actually make Teo Chamber work kind of well. Before you get antied, where you're taking map control and then you set up the chamber. I think it's really, really strong. You could also do the same theory of Vice. Honestly, Deadlock to an extent. So I'm thinking it's a good meta for EG if they like Teo. Loud also, I think, are going to need some time. And historically, if you take away the Harbor, Sky, Viper stuff, their cooking is kind of not great. And I heard... people can correct me in the comments, but I heard a lot of that was down to fraud, the Sky Viper Harbor stuff. So I'm kind of going to go off the back of that. Could have been lied to. Who knows? 100 Thieves against MIBR. So I'm a big believer in the MIBR team. I think they have a lot of firepower. I know there are a lot of people calling them Aspas and friends. I think this Cortezia guy is a beast. I think he's really good. Saying that, I think from what I saw in the... off-season event that they played, they looked really bad on some maps. And I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I'm just saying it was so obvious they had about a week of practice. And that now is only going to be maximum 4 weeks. And I just don't think that's enough. So in a best of 3, I think this probably goes 3 maps, but I'm going to go with 100 Thieves. Again, I think later on, MIBR will be beasts. Right now, I think it's going to look rough for them. That's where I'm at the moment. NRG against Cloud9. How can I go against NRG with how good they've looked in the offseason? Basically is where I'm at. They look so good. For the amount of time they've been practicing to look this drilled is very impressive. One of the most proactive teams I've ever seen on defense. That is insanely important at the moment with Teo. You can't really play on sites as much. You have to be proactive on defense. It's a lot more retakes. It's a lot more going fast behind as everyone's playing for after plant util. So I think NRG are going to be really switched on, and how they're playing should work well against how other people are playing Teo. 2G against Furia. I think Furia looked pretty good. I like their role switches at the moment. 2G obviously with the sub, I think that's going to hurt them until like later on in the season. So I'm going to go with Furia. Again, I thought off-season wise, they look pretty drilled. If they can kind of keep that up, I'm on board with Furia at the moment. Crew against EG. See, I think this one's going to be really, really close. I'm a Crew believer, so I'm probably going to back that. But again, EG, this meta, I do think it suits them well. But I'm just going to back Crew. I'm a Kesnet and Melza believer. And I think Atom is great as a coach. So that's pretty much where I'm at with that stuff. I think, actually, if you think as well, Crew have been proven to come up with some cool stuff. So I'm going to back that. 100 Thieves against Sentinels. I'm a Sentinels believer, for sure. I think I like the changes. Like, I know it should take a while to fill the shoes of Tens and Sassy. But dude, they're such good players that I think it's going to be okay. It felt like when I first watched Sentinels, they needed a lot of time. And then I saw them, was it the Soup tournament? I'm trying to remember what tournament I saw them at after that. Either way, there was a tournament after that, and they actually looked way better, and I could see the improvement. And if we carry on at that trajectory, the improvement should be there, and I back Sentinels for this one. So Sentinels over 100 Thieves is where I'm going to have them there. Then we've got G2 against NRG, and this one's really hard. Because I'm a massive G2 believer. But NRG looks so good in the off-season. Okay, I'm going to go off. The only thing that's making me actually like pick a side here and sway here is the fact that NRG are a lot better with demos, and they normally, when they face someone like early on, they normally go down to the lower bracket, which is why I'm gonna pick G2. G2 fresh, a lot of NRG demos out there. I think NRG are gonna play it relatively safe, not try too much new stuff because they're like expected to win. And I think G2 will have a couple of tricks, and I think the NRG might have shown too much data that G2 can kind of punish the proactiveness. I think Josh is a great coach, and I think he can look into that. And I think the unknown of G2 should mean that NRG just have to focus on their own game, and G2 will have footage of NRG's own game. And I think this proactive defense, as much as I love it, you can punish it a little bit. So that's where I'm going to be at. Then we got Fury 11. I think this is the first time that I might go for an upset, because I think I'm going to pick Furia. There's something about Lev that makes me think that it's going to take a while for them to be good. So, and I think Furia, again, from that off-season, I liked the level that they were playing at. So I think they had some rough rounds. Do I hold the rough rounds against them, or do I go for Lev? No, I think I'm okay. This is an upset for sure. Lev should probably be favorites to win this, but I'm gonna go with the upset and Furia win this. Then we got Lev against Loud, and I have Lev. I think as much as I'm underestimating them here, I don't think I can see that again. And like I said, for Loud, I think they're going to take some time. Then we got, dude, it would be, is this the route? Man, whoever loses MIBR 100 Thieves has to play the loser of NRG G2. That is the most brutal bracket. So either 100 Thieves, MIBR, NRG, or G2 are going to have an absolutely shocking kickoff. Damn. Then I'm gonna go with NRG here. For the same reasons that I said earlier, I think MIBR need a lot of time. MIBR goes 0-2. I can't believe one of these 4 teams is going to go 0-2. You would put these in the top 6, you would imagine, for the rankings. Then we got 100 Thieves over Cloud9. I'm a 100 Thieves believer, like I said. Same thing with EG. I'm an EG believer. I think they should be good with this meta. 2G, again, when they actually get their full roster, I'm thinking it's going to be good. Then let's go back up towards here. Sentinels against Crew. Sentinels, I think, should be okay. Again, I'm expecting them to come out kicking in this one. I'm expecting them to impress people. G2 against Furia. I think this one should be G2. And then we got Lev against NRG. And I'll back NRG for this one. 100 Thieves, EG. I would back 100 Thieves for this. And then I would back 100 Thieves here. And I would back NRG here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm so fine with this. Then we get over towards the top, and see, I'm kind of thinking Sentinels might do alright. Who have they got their coaching staff now? Oh yeah, it's nice. It is nice. This is a 50-50, I'm pretty sure. The smart choice is G2. So I should probably... I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to go with NRG here. Okay, well, that didn't last long. So I'm going to go with NRG over 100 Thieves. And now we're back to, this is the top 3 that I was referring to earlier. This is how I think it will always go unless there's like a crazy upset. And honestly, if any other team is in the top 3, shout out to that team. They did great. Sentinels, G2. Dude, who do I even have going in the top 3? So out there. Like, who's getting upset? One of these teams gets upset. I would say most people would guess it's going to be Sentinels and G2 NRG go through. But there's something telling me that G2 might get wrecked. And I don't know why, because I have massive belief in the team. I'm going to go with it just because there's something telling me that this is going to happen. And then... Dude, what a game this would be. Sentinels NRG. Yeah, this would make sense because then they get the rematch over here and they have the demo. Like, this makes a lot of sense on paper. It won't play like this, but it kind of makes sense for where I'm going with. I should probably put NRG. I should probably put NRG from what I'm seeing in the off season. Yeah, that makes sense. I should put NRG. NRG Sentinels. G2. Guys, I apologize if anyone from G2 watches this. Josh especially, man. I apologize. But most people see it as a curse, and that might be a good thing. Okay, let me know in the comments. Okay, let me know in the comments. Like, who do you have out of the top 3 going out? And if it's another team upsetting, let me know. Like, I want to know who's your team in the lower final. Like, who do you have playing the lower final? Because it's an interesting one. And who do you have winning it, I guess, or losing it? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate everyone. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing Pacific Pickems. All right, thank you, everyone. Peace.